Hello, welcome to Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 7, verse 20. Here is the text with my analysis. Here we are. Atapi hastapadadi datavyamiti me bhayam guru laghava mudhatvam tanme syada vicharta. And again, Atapi hastapadadi datavyam iti me bhayam guru laghava mudhatvam tanme syad vicharta. First of all, error in the Devanagari, which I shall correct. Iti me, that should be a separate word. Iti me bhayam. This should be an anusvara there, subplotted to him. There we are. So, ata api, by Sandhi, atapi, literally here too, here again. You often find this phrase atapi used in discussions to introduce the statement here again, here too, again on this point. I mean, on the other hand, yet again, on the other, it must be said. So atapi, so while on this subject, all the previous things that have been said, atapi, another thing that arises, literally here again, hastapadadi datavyam. This is the hastapadadi, is what's called a dvandva compound. It's just putting two nouns together. Hastapada, hand, foot, meaning hand and foot. Could mean a hand or a foot. And adi, hastapadadi, the word adi means a beginning. It's primarily a noun. There's the chant Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, the Govinda, the primal man, Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, him to my worship. But Adi is very frequently used to mean etc. So hasta pada adi, literally hand, foot, beginning, is that list of things beginning with hand and foot. So we say in English hand, foot, etc., etc., from Latin et cetera, meaning and other things. In Sanskrit and Pali you say hand, foot, beginning. In other words, that list of things starting with hand and feet. So the adi there has exactly the same force as etc. in English, and other things. So datavyam. Let me go to my iPad screen. Oops. We'll get there. Sorry. Here we are. The root da, as we know, to give, with this future passive participle ending. So datavya, meaning to be given, requiring to be given, has to be given. So hastapadadi datavyam, a hand or foot might have to be given. In other words, I might lose a hand or a foot. Iti me bhayam, literally, thus of me the fear. So that means then again I might be fearful of the idea of losing a hand or a foot. If you want to say I am afraid of losing a hand or a foot, you say in Sanskrit, a hand or foot is to be lost, thus I fear. So hastapadadi datavyam iti me bhayam, thus, that's the foregoing, me bhayam, of me the fear. This me here, it's enclitic, unstressed, so it's of me. It's the shortened form of mama. It's the genitive of aham, meaning I, mama, of me. Iti me bhayam, thus of me the fear, thus do I fear. The bhayam, by the way, the root bhi to fear, the neuter noun, bhayam, noun is fear. In fact, the bhay is it's the English in fear, and in the Greek word phobia, fear. French, la peur, paura in Italian. It's from that same root, bhaya, to fear. So iti me bhayam, I might feel, thus of me the fear, thus do I fear. Guru laghva muratvam tanmesya vicharata. So, guru, as we all know in English, is a guru meaning a teacher. But in fact, originally it's an adjective meaning heavy or important. Its original form actually was garu. In Vedic, it's garu. Later on, it became guru. Garu, the original meaning of it actually just means heavy. And it's cognate with the Latin gravis, meaning heavy, from which in English we have grave. Not grave in the sense of hole in the ground, but grave in the sense of important, serious. We talk about a person having gravitas, meaning gravity, but in a sense not of physical gravity, but the sense of gravitas, a sense of importance and respectability, even venerability attaching to him. So this word garu, later language guru, it came to mean teacher because your guru was the person, man or woman of gravity, of gravitas, to whom great weight was attached, who was treated respectfully and with veneration. That was the original meaning of the word. The opposite of garu is laghu. And laghu, we have levis in Latin, meaning light, and we have in English levity, meaning light-heartedness, but often used in a bad sense of treating things in a frivolous way when you shouldn't, is just behaving with levity. Now we often see in the etymology from Vedic, Sanskrit and Pali through to Greek and Latin, then through the Germanic languages, the g and a v alternating. So laghu, the g there becomes with the v in Latin, but it retains its g in English because it's exactly cognate laghu with our English word light, or in older language licht. Light in the sense, of course, of not heavy, not light and dark, not heavy. Now, put those two together, guru laghu, light and heavy, important and unimportant. We're talking here about the distinction between what is important in life and what's not important in life, what needs to be taken seriously and what doesn't. That's the guru and the laghu. By vriddhi derivatives, guru, heavy, you can make a noun, an abstract noun out of that by doing vriddhi of the u, gau, and the u becomes ava. So guru gaurava. So gaurava means heaviness, gravis, gravitas, guru gaurava. And the same is done with laghu. Lightness or levity becomes by vriddhi of the a that lengthens laghava. So that is how we get from adjectives guru laghu to the abstract nouns gaurava, laghava, heaviness, lightness. If you take guru laghu and you want to make an abstract noun of them, it is sufficient only to change the last one. So you don't need to say Gaurava Laghava. You can say Guru Laghava, changing only the Laghava into a verbal noun and leaving Guru in the form of an adjective. So it wouldn't actually be wrong to say Gaurava Laghava, but it just flows better, and it's better Sanskrit to say Guru Laghava, literal lightness and heaviness. Heaviness and lightness is heavy lightness. So Guru Laghava Mudhatvam. Mudhatvam. This is a word really from the root that we all know. As Buddhists, it's mu, and it makes its verbal noun in moha. Mu, mu, means to be deluded about something, basically not to understand it properly. We've got our, in Pali, lobha, dosa, moha. The lobha, desire, dosa, enmity, moha, delusion. Lobha and moha are the same in Sanskrit and Pali. It's dvesha becomes dosa in Pali. So moha is just delusion. Now, to make the past participle from mu, making deluded, what you do, you add the ta. Mu, ta. Okay, so far so good, but that doesn't quite work because there is sandhi to be applied, internal sandhi. You can't have a consonantal H followed by a ta. What happened? First of all, H behaves in a funny way when it's the last consonant in a root. First of all, it wants to lengthen itself, lengthen the preceding vowel. And so you can't HT, you can't have that. It wants to change to mudha. So all I can say is, sorry, that's just how it is by the strange rule of Sanskrit. That, sorry, this subdotted H is not a subdotted H, it's just emphasis there. Muhta becomes mudha. So mudha is the simple past participle from muh, meaning to be deluded. So mudha, deluded. Now, you'll see, Guru Laghava mudhatvam. It's added the twa on it, which make another way of making an abstract noun, like the twa, it's like ness. So mudhatva, state of being deluded, delusion. So Guru Laghava mudhatva, heavy lightness delusion. Delusion here also just means puzzlement, not having your thinking faculties about you, mudhatvam. So just being unable, lacking the judgment, lacking the mental ability of Guru Laghu, of distinguishing what is Guru, what's important, what is Laghu, what is unimportant. So Guru Laghava mudhatvam, important, unimportant delusion, important, unimportant, lack of discernment, lack of ability to distinguish. Tan me syat. Tan, actually this is tad me, which becomes tan me, but by a rule of sandhi, a final order followed by a m become changed into a n. So tan me. Tan, the force of tan, but tad just means that. That's in the well-known phrase tat tuamasi, that thou art, tat tuamasi. It can often have more of a general demonstrative meaning. It means thus, for that reason, in that way, something like that. So in that way, thus, tan me syad, then of me there may be. Just as iti me bhayam, thus of me fear, meaning thinking thus I might be afraid. And this is Guru Laghava mudhatvam tan me syad, there may thus, tan me syad, there may thus be Guru Laghava mudhatvam to me. In other words, I might thus or then or in that way suffer from or be under this lack of ability to discern, this mudhatvam, lack of ability to discern the Guru Laghu, the Guru Laghava. Tanme syat avicharata. Now, avicharata, present participle, genitive singular, vicharati, to think. Vichara is more to think discursively, to ponder, to consider. We know in the Satipatthana Sutta and in numerous suttas about mindfulness and meditation, you have in Pali, I'll write in Sanskrit first, vitarka and vichara. In Pali, of course, that's vitakka, and vichara is the same Sanskrit and Pali. Vitarka is more of the ordinary thoughts that they come into your mind. It's ordinary thinking. Vichara is like the next level down from thinking. It's not just random thoughts going through. It's actually applying your mind to solving, to pondering, to thinking about something. That's the vichara. Present participle. The stem is vicharat. Nominative vicharan, accusative vicharantam, genitive drops the n out, so vicharata. So vicharata, of a person, it's the genitive of the present participle, pondering, considering. So avicharata, of one who is not considering. That's me avicharata, of me not considering. That means there may be, to me, tanme syat, syat is the optative form, there might be to me, guru laghava mudhatvam, a lack of ability, a lack of discernment between important and unimportant. Avicharata. Avicharata is in the genitive, to agree with me. Thus, of me, unconsidering, unthinking, there might be an inability to discern. So, tan me syad, tan, thus, syad, there might be, me avicharata, of me unthinking, of the unthinking me, guru laghava mudhatvam. That means there might arise in me unthinking this inability to discern guru laghu, the important, the heavy and the light, the important and the unimportant. So I will read this again. Atapi hastapadadi datavyamiti me bhayam guru laghava mudhatvam tanme syad avicharata. And that's it on verse 20.